like to welcome our 15th head men's basketball coach. Program began in 1934. Since then, we've accumulated 1,027 wins, 10 NAIA tournament appearances, 24 Lone Star tournament appearances, 3 NCAA tournament bids, 2 conference tournament titles. Over the last 2 seasons, the Greyhounds have earned 39 and 22 record with back-to-back LSC tournament berths. When we began this process, there was one name that came to mind. He'll be our next leader for the ENMU basketball. He's not a stranger to this area. He was our assistant coach 2 years ago. During that time, he earned, as an assistant, he helped the team earn a 10-plus winning record differential. He's coached several institutions in the region, including at the head coach in the Grand Canyon State, sorry. a little bit further west. On behalf of ENMU and Eastern New Mexico Athletics, we'd like to welcome and introduce Coach Daven Võ.
Good afternoon. It is great to be back in Port Tallis. I woke up this morning, took a long walk, saw a lot of familiar faces, had a lot of warm hugs and embraces, and that's what makes this place special, is the people that showed up, the hospitality and the tight-knit group in the community that makes this place awesome. I'd like to thank Dr. Johnston for believing in me and believing in my vision where this program can go. I'd like to thank my amazing wife. She's been putting up with me for almost 20 years, believe it or not. And she's been along my side. She's been holding down the fort. There were many nights where she's home by herself with the kids, just holding it down for me. And I could not have a better person by my side. She is elite, and that is what you call basketball life right there. And my kids, they're characters. 3 of them, Cora, Lennox, and Henry. They've been with me and they love basketball. And I guess they don't really have a choice. But they've made more moves and more transitions than I had fingers on my hand. And they've been with me through it all, and they're going to keep going. I just want to tell them thank you. Say about 4 years ago, almost to the month, almost to the day, we were in Wichita, Kansas. There was a great big event going on, and everything was locked down. And I loaded up my kids in the car. My wife and I packed tuna, bread, a bunch of water, and we made a trek out to Port Tallis. And we wanted to know what this town was about. We wanted to know what Eastern New Mexico was about. So we show up, and it's April, May of 2020, and there's nothing going on. There's not a soul around. There's not a smiling face that I see here. And I told my kids, we're sitting up on the hill next to the arena, I said, Dad's going to work here. We're moving here. And I always say to my favorite child, Lennox, goes, what? What are you coming here for? There's nobody here. And you fast forward 4 years later, there's a conference championship, Lone Star Conference Championship trophy here in the arena. There's a gigantic video board that's bigger than any that a Division II in this region has. There's some really, really great young men in that locker room that I expect to bring back, and I expect to finish this thing out. There's been 2 back-to-back winning seasons in the Lone Star Conference, all under the leadership of Brent Owen. And I feel like we've come such a long way in 4 years. You do this 4 years ago, there's nobody here. I think Brent was probably doing it by himself in his house with the video camera. And we look here, and we've got all these things, we got these faces, and we've made some serious progress. And I think Dr. Johnston, the Board of Regents, Mike, brought me here because he feels like we can hit the ground running. And so I need your support. I need every single person in this community to help me hit the ground running. So let's run. Let's run.
At this time, we'll take questions from the media.
So now I do have one question. Once you get established, what sort of non-conference schedule would you like to play? Do you want to keep playing the same teams, or do you envision some changes?
The camera doesn't need to be panned that way. We know that voice. That voice is a consistent voice here at this institution and at this university, and everyone knows that voice, that beautiful, smooth voice. That's Doc Elder. We've got to get that together. I've got to get in the office and figure out who we're going to play and how we're going to play. The most important thing to get off track with your question is the people. Like, we got to make sure we have the right people here in this program, and it always starts with the players. It always starts with student athletes. We got to get those right guys, and in order to get those right guys, I've got to get my staff together. And then after we do that, then we can start figuring out, hey, who are we going to play and what's our schedule going to look like. I'm getting calls and text messages. I got to turn my phone off. They're calling me too late. They're calling me too early. And one of the text messages I got was asking, hey, do you want to come to Alaska and play on Thanksgiving? I asked my wife, you want to have Thanksgiving in Alaska? So I'm not sure, but I can tell you this. We plan on having Kids Day, something that I've always done since I was at Butler Community College, and something I continue to want to do. It's awesome to have those kids come to the arena and watch our guys and feel like they're a part of it. And part of what we do in the community is we get out to those kids. So when they get here, they feel attached to our players. They see this guy right here, and they just love him. They see that guy right there, and they know exactly who he is, and they want to come support him. So we're going to continue to have that. We're going to continue to play really good teams and continue to play Division II teams, because at this school, what Dr. Johnston and what Mike Melito want to do is they want to continue. They want to raise the bar. We're not just settling for what we've done in the past 2 years. Let's amp it up, and let's have better goals, and let's keep achieving those goals. And that's why I'm saying, let's run. I need your help, and let's run. So in order to do that, in order to make appearances to national tournaments, we've got to have Division II games. We've got to bring NCAA Division II institutions into this arena, and then we've also got to get out and travel as well.
Andres.
Yes, sir.
Coach, you talked about wanting the right players around your team. What is it that you're looking for in players when you go through the recruiting process, where you're grabbing freshmen, whether you're grabbing community college transfers? What are you looking for ideally?
That's a tricky question, man. Coach Cal had a great quote, and I could not stop laughing. He went and talked to the players, and he said, there is no players. There's nobody in that locker room. I feel like we've got some really good guys in our locker room. I've talked to those guys. I was lucky enough to recruit those guys and coach some of those guys. And it's going to be important to, number one, make sure we lock those guys down first and get their commitment first. And they're going to be bought in. There's not going to be a big difference in how we run things day to day. Coach Owen and I were in lockstep, and I owe him a ton. But, we got this thing going. We felt like we turned this thing around, and we started finding really tough-minded kids that were about the right things. We asked them, we weren't talking about the bells and whistles and how nice and big our arena was, or how many people came to the games. We stopped talking about that as the first thing. We started asking them, do you want to get a degree? Do you want to win basketball games? Do you want to be a part of something special? So it's no longer a turnaround. We kind of got that thing turned around with everyone's help. Administration, players, coaches. Now we've got to continue to get those right, tough guys and keep going in this direction and keep striving to be better.
And then at this point, we'll take community questions.
Are we keep saying running, are we gonna fast pace still and do some of those things, or it just depends on your players?
And I tell you what, I can't tell you how many times I text Coach Owen last year, and I text staff, text players, what are you guys doing scoring 100 points over and over again? And it only happens in this arena. We're going to take the points and we're going to run when it allows us to. I think if you have a team that's going to do it naturally, and they're out there doing it without you coaching them to do it, then they're showing they have that ability to do it. I don't want to be a square peg in a round hole. You know, once we get our team, we figure out what we're good at, what we're not good at. That's probably what we're going to do. I would love to sit up here and tell you, you know, here's our vision and exactly how we're going to play. I can tell you this: number one, we're going to really be really good on defense, and we're going to be really physical. And with the help of those two guys in the back of the room right there, they're going to hold that down. And then from there, whether we're scoring 100 points or maybe 70 points, we're going to try our best to make you guys proud, play hard, and keep filling this arena. We set records last year. I want to set another record. I want to try to get that more. I want to try to get the people up on top of the stands and get the kids up there in those higher bleachers. I want to get it all filled up. And the only way we do that is to have fun and to engage that community. And we're going to continue to do that. But fast pace or slow pace, we're going to try to win basketball games. Yes, sir.
Welcome home.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I miss the food.
If there,
I had a breakfast burrito today. My favorite thing. Breakfast burrito right there on the corner on the bend. And I went over there and pulled my car up, and I have a different car now. And she looked in the car. The car's a mess. We brought our dogs with us. Left the kids at home, but brought the dogs in the car. And then we got seeds, water bottles. We pulled in at 1 a.m. last night, so it was late. It was late. Couldn't get here till the kids were done with school. She looks in, she sees what's going on, and she remembers my face, and she said, breakfast burrito? I said, yep. She brought it out, I paid for it, and I go, I haven't had this good of a breakfast burrito in almost 11 months. So I am really happy to be back. My kids, my wife are excited to be back. They're excited to be a part of a community and a program, but a community that supports the program. And I can't tell you how important that is. These four right here, you know, they know what that feels like, and they know what it doesn't feel like, and they want to be back, and they want to be a part of it. And like I said, I'm here to be myself. I'm here to be a person in the community, and I'm here to try to raise the bar and overcome some more obstacles.
awesome. If there are no more questions, this will conclude our press conference. Thank you so much for coming today, and please feel free to chit chat.
Thank you all.
Thank you.